Last round. Fight!
Hello and welcome to the Last Round Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Saunders. Joining me as always, my co-host, Anton Austin. We're here in Newark at Suggy's gym to speak with Chad 2slick Sugden. Thank you for having us down.
No problem, mate.
First thing I wanted to ask you, because I know that obviously you're a professional boxer now, and you were a world champion kickboxer at one stage. And I think I've seen this online, that you won the title while in your hometown. Is that right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Was the arena packed out?
Yeah, it was packed. We used to do shows at Kellermore. It was actually, I think it was the last one at Kellermore, and it was a great venue. It was like a dome, so the atmosphere was really good. It was in some good grounds, and yeah, it was incredible, mate. I think we packed it out, all full of Newark, really, and yeah, it was probably at the time like that was one of my best performances, definitely. And I was, it was a good fight, exciting, and both took some good shots, but I smashed it, really.
Yeah. Obviously, you fought in glory like your brother Bailey does. Were you under contract there? And if so, was it like an exclusive deal, or could you fight anywhere you wanted?
I went under contract, so I had a good manager. So I basically, I was with K1, signed to a long-term contract with them at first, and then after that, because towards the end they went a bit quiet and that, and I won what they wanted at the time. Like, we sort of didn't really want to sign any more long-term contracts at that time, because you can be stuck in them without really getting having much going on. And so we got offered the fight with Atticon in Glory, Atticon Arslan, and after we won that, we just obviously got offered the Groenhart fight. I think they were struggling to find someone to fight him in Vegas, and was like, well, not many people considered fighting Vegas, and then to fight Murthel Groenhart, it was a bit of a legend, really. That was a massive opportunity.
How old was you when that fight come about in the Groenhart?
Just turned 21, so I was just old enough to go to Vegas and proper enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was.
Was you excited when it come around the fight, like when you sat down with your dad and stuff?
Yeah, so basically I was on holiday at the time, just like with my missus at the time, and Dad messaged me saying, I've just been offered a fight with Groenhart, what do you reckon? And I said, well, obviously, yeah. And he said, well, I've already accepted it anyway.
You're doing it?
I was like, well, yeah, I was going to do it anyway, do you know what I mean? And I knew I was going to turn boxing at the time, so I thought, well, with one last dance, not many better places you can do it.
Yeah.
And
right, it's mad you say that you'd already made your mind up, kind of.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There was a bit of back and forth, like, because obviously then was number 2 in the world. Like, it's a big thing. Glory was massive at the time. It still is now, and it was. And I always fancied Old Skin. Yeah. Always fancied that fight, and I think proving like my sort of style, like Nabiev and Doumbé, they're not the same style as me, but they are very quite slick fighters and good movers. He struggled with. It was always a fight that I thought I could win, but obviously at the time it wasn't right for Glory for me to go in and just nick the title. I'd have been a bit mad, little lad from Newark.
What was the experience like fighting in Vegas? I've seen your dad say that you met Mayweather and Tyson while you were out there.
Yeah. It was something else. Like, you had like, even at the weigh-in, Goldberg was there, and obviously that Stitch was in my corner.
Yeah, seeing that in the video.
Was in my corner. That was,
wow, I bet you was gassed, weren't you?
Yeah, because I was like seeing him at the weigh-in and that, and I was like, he does the UFC, and I thought, I had a photo of him. I was like, didn't realise at the time that they was going to be like the house corners. Like, you don't get that over here, and and then Goldberg and people like that at the weigh-in, and then as we got to the shows like TJ Dillashaw, Nick Diaz, Uriah Faber, people like that just sat ringside, and it was mad. And then on the night after the fight and that, because I had to wait for ages because I had to get my eye stapled because I got caught. I can't remember if it was the knee or the clash of heads, but I got cut right over here, and then was just that I went into Fat Burger because I'm a bit of a Mayweather fan. Like, I knew that's where he goes and loves to do his things. And one long after he had that bust up with Ti, and I was like, I'll go in there and get a burger.
I forgot about that.
And obviously that made it that big because it was like you'd seen the outside bit where it all happened and that. And then went in, had a burger, and as we was leaving, literally, was with a lad from Vegas who was showing us around, sort of thing, and he said, he just shouted us as we was leaving, and he said, "Oh, look here, saw me with his cars pulling up like about 8 G-Wagons and all."
Yeah.
you know how he is, like likes to make a scene, come out, and then you couldn't see anything because they had all them flashlights on, so you can't see them things that they put, so you can't take a picture of. And then he was just having a meal with his family at like 3 a.m, his kids and that. I was like, it's mad, but I knew he was like nocturnal and that. He was just training for the Andre Berto fight, and we thought, oh, we'll wait here for a bit. I spoke to one of the guys. It took us like 2 hours to wait. But then we'd had enough. Me and Mum went in and got a coffee and that. And I was like, speak to the bouncers. Because it was basically, say Mayer was here, there was like a ring of bouncers, but there was shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Massive guys just looking in. So you couldn't really see anything.
Yeah.
You could like jump up, but it was all
Imagine
huge.
the big guys.
Yeah. Like, and we asked one of them, saying, "Oh, mate, really want to see Floyd. Like, I'm from England. Like, I'm probably not going to get this opportunity again. And I've got a tattoo of him on my arm." And the guy was like, "Oh no, mate, everyone's trying. Like, every night we get this, no chance." Then this little one actually shouted over, and he went, "Man, I'm going to speak to Floyd. He's going to want to see this, because although like Tyson actually have tattoos of him on people's arm, Floyd's still quite new, so not many people have Floyd on him. Do you know what I mean?" And went over, and Floyd came straight up, and he was buzzing to see the tattoo and that. Yeah, he was sound. He just had a picture and just a few words and that. Asked if I won. I was buzzing. I could say yes. I would have told him I won anyway.
I was gonna say, you gotta lie.
But no, it was cool. And then obviously the day after that, I met Tyson as well. So it's just experience of a lifetime. Vegas was, but don't get much better than that. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say that was your biggest win in kickboxing then? That Murthel fight?
Yeah, on paper and obviously the stage and everything, definitely I'd say it's the biggest win. At the time and performance-wise, obviously the world title was good, the tournament was good. And I think my first fight in glory as well against Atakan Arslan was a very good performance. Like, it sort of brought everything together. But yeah, the Groenhart fight, obviously, he's the biggest name I've got on my resume.
The Predator, they call him, don't they?
That's it. And obviously, he's like, I think he's the last one to win the 70k tournament
K1,
as well.
Yeah.
In K1, so.
What was it like preparing for that fight, knowing he's from? Obviously, Mike's gym. It's a famous gym. They train hard.
Yeah, obviously it's interesting because I was at Hemmer's gym at Hemmer's gym, but that was where I was going to do my sparring and that. So there's obviously that rivalry a little bit there. But the guy I fought, Atakan Arslan, he trained out of Mike's gym as well. So I knew what it was all about. I knew what Groenhart was all about. He comes and when I was in like the walkway about to come out, I was coming out first, and Mike wasn't actually there, but the other guy was could hear this shouting, and that's what they do. Like before the fights, just shout at each other, like screaming. Like,
I've seen it. You just
what's
throw
going
the
on
water
here?
as well, don't you? Mike usually like throws the water over.
And like sound like they're falling out. No, there was all that. So he's like,
is that getting in your head a bit?
Not getting in my head. I'm quite chilled like before a fight. I get nervous before, but as I'm coming out, I'm sort of like, right, focus. It's gonna happen now, innit? So I get like, I make a joke out of things like more than anything, and then it was good. And get in the ring, and he comes in, and you look at him, and he looks like the Predator. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like his body and that, like his arms and legs are so long, and it was good. It was a good fight. Do you know what I mean?
He seemed quite disappointed, didn't he, at the end of the fight?
Yeah.
He seemed like,
I think because of my style, I think want my best performance, to be honest, but my style, like, I sort of negated him a bit. I think he was annoyed that he didn't do more. But it's harder when you're in there, like just my timing and that, just putting him off a lot of the time. And I think he was frustrated, and he felt like he could have done more, but then I felt like I could have done more as well. And look, I got the win, and I was happy with that. We thought we might have to do an extra round, because when we had the cut, it was like put the Vaseline on because it was a close fight, but no, I was happy with
He's
that.
another one. He loves them jumping knees, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just covers big distance.
That's it. And he brings he's got the switch one as well. He brings the right one up first. He does love it, and he's got long awkward legs as well. But
So what made you want to, switch over into boxing? Were you 21 when you switched over into boxing?
Yeah, so I was 21. Took me a while to go through the process and that, because even though I had my experience in kickboxing and I boxed as an amateur, we weren't really known as a gym, so they wanted us to go through all the trial fitness tests and all this, and I was like, this is long, really. I know other guys that had turned pro that weren't probably as good as me at the time. But yeah, it was a few things really. I've always wanted to be I've always wanted to have a go at boxing. From a young age, like me personally, I probably watched the boxing more than I watched the kickboxing and stuff like that as a fan. And then also the roof's a lot higher, so not just money but exposure wise and stuff like that. But like, I can't say you do this game if you want in it for financial reasons, because the injuries and the time and effort it takes to put in, and the risk is very high. So I've done it from 5 years of age, and I want to make as much of it as I can out of it. Do you know what I mean? People go to school all their life to then get a degree and get a job out of it. I've gone to this school sort of thing. I've gone to school as well, and I'm a clever lad, but I do believe this is my opportunity to make a living and live a comfortable life. Do you know what I mean? You see people struggling all the time, and I think this is my opportunity to make something better. And I think with the boxing, I won a lot of my kickboxing fights with my hands anyway. It's like, as everyone, a lot of people see, my hands were a big part in it, and I just always fancied seeing where I could take it. As an amateur, I did well. I'd sparred a lot of pros and stuff like that as a kickboxer, and it's just always been a passion of mine. And I had a few injuries which wouldn't have really got any better through kickboxing. To be honest, I was going to say
that is the injuries you don't miss.
Yeah,
kickboxing, shins and your feet, and
definitely. It's nice waking up in the morning and being able to walk.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But
Paul Bailey.
That's it. He's, to be fair, his shin's tougher than mine. Like, no, but it's a hard sport. That 8-man tournament when I fought in that, next day my legs didn't want to move, but like the money helped at the time. Do you know what I mean? Because back then that was a decent payday for me.
It's interesting that you were talking about the money then, because we spoke to Nathan Bendon a few weeks ago, and I know you fought on the same event as him during COVID, and obviously he used to fight Muay Thai, and he said that, when he was fighting Muay Thai, he was getting like $500-600 a fight or whatever, and then he fought twice in the space of a month boxing and made $5,000, and that's like a year's worth of fights in Muay Thai. Like, it's a massive difference. Yeah,
it is, and I think it's just all the exposure, and obviously Nathan's always been their way fighter as well, so and he's getting some wins. He's doing well. So and he's doing well to get fights as well, because I'm surprised more people aren't avoiding him, sort of thing, because he has caused a couple upsets and that. But it's definitely different money. I mean, in the K1 there is good money. I made some decent money in Glory, enough to live on and stuff like that. But for me personally, the injuries, I couldn't fight as often as I wanted in Glory, and also I've only just started earning more in boxing as I was in Glory, but I have now. I'm past that sort of stage, and it should as long as the next fight I get a good win, and obviously with losing the last fight, it does put you on it stops you a minute, but it's all learning, and I think people want these padded records and stuff like that. I'm 26 and I've already fought for a British title. Like, where does it stop? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's impressive. I know I was going to go into your latest fight in a bit, but we may as well talk about it now. How would you assess your fight with Shakan Peters back? Did you think getting cut early changed your game plan at all?
Obviously, it's not ideal. To be honest, at the time, I didn't know how bad it was until I got in the corner. But then they looked after it. Do you know what I mean? My dad's always been good with the cuts and that, so he looked after that. And then I just think, to be honest, probably wasn't my best performance, but it's one of them things. Some nights you're not, some nights you're not.
Yeah.
It's not. Do you know what I mean? And we know why and what we can go on and improve next time. But it's he was a better man on the night, Shekan Pitters, and fair play to him. But we'd love to do it again. And I've had a look at it. It's never nice watching when you're losing. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're not doing the things you know you can do. But I will be back stronger and like I say, learn from it. He's 31, and I'm 26, and do you know what I mean? He fought for his first British title at 31. I fought at 26.
Yeah.
He got the win, but look where I can go from this. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I got to look at, because after a loss and you get down in the dumps, and if you didn't, you won't be a winner, as a lot of people have told me. But it is hard that when you lose, it's hard, because you put your whole life into it, your diet, your sleep, everything. Do you know what I mean? You sacrifice stuff, but it's for a sport we love. But it's hard to love when you're not winning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's so. But I'll be.
Like you said, the age is on your side. You're 26. You've done a hell of a lot.
Yeah. And there's a few things need to sort out, and little injuries here and there. But that's all gonna come, and I'm young enough to recover and get back in there and be stronger than ever.
So while you was fighting kickboxing, you was with Glory. Was you doing anything else on the outside? Was you working anywhere, or was you just completely a full time?
So I was full time, but I worked down the gym, so I paid personal training and stuff like that. But to be fair, when I was in Glory, I had like 3 fights from April to August, and there was all pretty much good money. And I fought outside of Glory as well, so that was when the weight cream fight was. And I sold about 300 tickets for that fight. Wow. So with the person, the commission, and that, I made a good whack. So I always did the PT thing, but I tried to mainly focus on my training and stuff like that, because it's not like my brother said, it's not a long career fighting, and you got to try and make the most of it, because you'd be gutted if you got to end it and thought, I wish I'd have just concentrated on that for a bit of time. Do you know what I mean? But you do need that. It's hard because you need that other income as well.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And as I'm getting older now, like 26, it was easier when I was like running up to 21, because you're still a kid. Do you know, other people are in uni or college, they're not really making a lot of money. So what I was earning was decent, you know, because I was at high level. But it's I wouldn't like to do it and work on the side as well. That is hard.
So obviously we talked about the Shekan Pitters fight, but I didn't really get a chance to ask you then. What was it like fighting under COVID?
Oh, it was strange. It was weird. Obviously, like, you feel like you're in prison before you go and get your COVID test, and you're in the hotel for 3 days or whatever it was, and not allowed out of your room until you get your result and this and that. But it was very strange. I mean,
no crowd as well.
Yeah, that was another thing. The no crowd. Obviously, I sold quite a lot of tickets, and you get that buzz, and you don't get that feedback that you get normally in a fight. So when you fight as a fighter, you know, like, as soon as you hear that roar, like, you're like, well, I'll give some more of that. Because, do you know what I mean? People like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, although it is, you do want to win, boxing is an entertainment business, like K1 is, like MMA. And the more you can entertain, the more people want to see you fight. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, really. So you don't get that reaction, and it is strange. You hear like echoes and stuff like that. And you don't want to be hearing that. You feel
Can you hear the commentators?
I couldn't hear them, but I heard on the Matchroom show, like, when they was in the corner and that, they could hear them scoring the fight and stuff like that. So I can't remember, was it Eggington? You could hear him saying, "Oh, Cheeseman's up" or something like that, and there's a bit of a discussion about it after on online and that. But I'm probably glad I didn't hear him this time. Do you know what I mean?
So obviously that was a Mick Kennedy show. You're not like exclusive with Mick Kennedy or anything, are you?
No. So if I'd have won that fight, then like the way the contract works, because he won the rights to the British title, whoever won, then went on and signed to Hennessy Sports, and I think they had a deal with him, so like 3 fights or whatever. But no, I'm not signed to anyone at the minute. I do get fights. Obviously, the 2 fights on the televised shows have both been in the away corner. But that's what you got to do sometimes to get your opportunity. That's when I fought Richards. It was a week before I got that call, and I had a broken nose going into that, but it got me a draw.
What was the deal with the belt? Didn't you meant to be fighting for his belt, and then a couple of days before it just got removed?
So we got the first call was for the WBA title, which is a good title to win because it gets you a ranking in the world just by winning that. And he's got a top 10 ranking in the WBA, which is always handy to have because then you're in line for someone like Alvarez was the WBA champion. That's a big money fight. Whether and he ain't massive for light heavy, so if he's out there and he wants to challenge him, I'll fight him for a few mil. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it's that was exciting. Do you know what I mean? Seeing that, and then it was for 10 rounds, and the money was more. And then as we got there, just before the press conference, was just driving up. It was not about half hour out, and said to Dad, it's just going to be an 8-rounder now, not for the title, and going to pay you less and this and that. I was like, handy. But no, to be fair, they paid us a bit more than what they said, and Matchroom was a very good show to fight on. They looked after you. The hotel was good. Sorted out all your expenses. Do you know what I mean? They managed to get me some tickets as well because I was on last minute. On the York Hall, they always sell out, so managed to get about 50 odd tickets because could have done with some more, but obviously you can't expect that late notice, and everything was bang on with them. Even the decision in the end, do you know what I mean? Like they gave me the draw. A lot of people thought one. It's hard telling the night because my nose went in like the second round, so I was like, my face as I was falling up, so didn't look like I'd won, but like when you watch the actual fight and the punches landing, you see like my boxing was better. Do you know what I mean? But
so it's a positive experience fighting on the Matchroom show then,
yeah, definitely. Both like they've all been good shows, but Matchroom they're
probably like the pinnacle of the UK at the moment.
So like Glory, when I fought on them, there was like another level to anything I fought on before, and I fought on a lot of big shows. Just the way they look after you and they treat the fighters. Because end of the day, I think some promotions forget that it's the fighters that have got to go in there and entertain and perform on the night. And if they feel good and they've been treated well in the last few days and fed well and stuff like that, they're going to go in there and fight better. Definitely. Do you know what I mean? You get a load of like fighters that are pissed off or annoyed or whatever, they're not going to go in there and perform as well. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoyed my time on with Matchroom, but we'll see what happens. Do you know what I mean? I haven't fought on all the boxing promotions, so probably like the first one to fight on every single one at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever been drug tested in boxing? Because I know like we've asked people this before, and it seems like definitely in UK Muay Thai there's no drug testing or anything like that for PEDs. Nathan Bendon said he's never been tested in boxing. What's your experience of it?
So my last fight I did. What they have is the boxing board. They have like random, so they can just come to your gym. But I think they use it on mainly the higher athletes. But the British title got tested straight after.
Right.
But I couldn't piss for like good at 2 hours. I was there because obviously you've had 12 round, you're dehydrated and that. And there I did about 5 bottles of water and I couldn't drink properly because my lip was half open. And I was there like waiting for ages. But no, it's I got drug tested in that one. Same like both did straight after the fight, which I think is good. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's only for the title fights they do it, to be honest. But I don't know. There might be another one. Do you know what I mean? But it's always good to surprise people a little bit because do you know what I mean? It keeps it all safe.
Yeah, 100%. I've heard that you have sparred with Billy Joe Saunders, Kell Brook, Jose Burton. Is that right?
Yeah.
What was your experience like? You know, sparring with world champions.
Yeah, it's great, mate. All top guys in their different ways. You know what I mean? All different styles.
Yeah.
And then I sparred Jamie Cox as well, who was another tough one.
Yeah.
But they're all tough spars and good for my development, and they've all been nothing but giving me praise as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I think when I go down to the gyms and that, they always expect something else. I don't know why, but they don't expect me to be as a good boxer as I am.
So you go to their gyms, you don't come here?
No, mainly I go to theirs, because obviously I'm not. They use me for their fights, sort of thing.
Right,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then Jose was obviously probably ideal for Shekan because he was tall as well. But yeah, I normally go there. Obviously, when I was sparring with Jamie Cox, he was fighting George Groves. He was paying me for the rounds as well, which paying me good money and stuff like that. But it's just, to be honest, I'd have done it for free because get the rounds in.
I mean, these guys are fighting at, you know, the top level of boxing. Like,
I think
it's got to be
should,
invaluable, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's it. Of course it is. But then as well, like, they've got to like know these dads. I think sometimes a lot of boxers don't want to pay the sparring partners, but I think it's good because these young lads coming through, they're on next to nothing, mate, and they're travelling out the way, and they are giving you good rounds. And if you want them to keep coming back, I think then, don't get wrong, the first time you might go, oh look, we'll see how you get on. And then if you do well, I think it's right to pay them. Like if I was fighting for a few mil, and there's no way I won't pay my sparring partner all his expenses and that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know when Jamie, I think he went at Spar Canelo, he's getting some good money, like
They're getting paid more than
salary.
some people are getting for fights, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. So,
That's mad.
but yeah, it's great experience sparring all them guys and spot. And there'll be more sparring to come. Do you know what I mean? Sparred quite a few local lads and stuff like that as well. But
is anyone that stood out in particular out of the three you just mentioned there, with Billy Joe, Cal Brook? Or no? Or
Billy Joe's good.
Southpaw,
but he's gonna be good. But I always fancy myself in anything. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what they get when I go there as well. Like. A lot of the top pros and that some of the others are sparred. Like they come out and they try and take it to you. Do you know what I mean? But then
there's almost a bit of like, oh, he's the kickboxer guy coming into boxing, or not?
I think so sometimes, But like when I know to ride a few shots and they miss a few and that, then they soon like go back to the boxing because it ain't gonna last very long if they keep trying to do that. Do you know what I mean? I've had some good rounds. Sparred another lad from the Ingles as well, Willie Hutchinson. He was a good lad. Super middle now. He was light heavy. He's another good up and coming lad. But yeah, I think I always shock people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do move out of the way of a shot well, but I can ride a shot as well, take a shot, sort of thing. But I always manage to land a few on them. Do you know what I mean? So it's good.
So obviously we just talked about Cal Brook there, and I don't know if you saw, you probably have, but he's just been recently matched against Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you think that fight will go?
I think Cal Brook is a good fighter, and on his day he can give and he's massive for the weight.
He's got heavy hands as well, hasn't he, for the weight?
Yeah, he has. But then he ain't with Dominic Ingle. Do you know what I mean? He's gone out his own way to do it all. He's doing his camp and I just think he's just not giving himself 100% chance. But I believe it's a winnable fight. Crawford's come up in weight, and he's good, Crawford. Don't get me wrong, he's very good. But I don't know if he could stop Brook, but I think it'll have to be an accumulation of shots. Yeah. So I think Brook's got that chance as in he's going to be there. Do you know what I mean? He ain't going to just knock you out with one shot. So you got a chance of getting there. But then, like, the only thing I worry is like is Brook's head fully in it. Do you know what I mean? Watching his fight with Golovkin and then his fight with Spence.
I think that fight with Spence left a lot of a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. You know, he took the knee and stuff and quit out.
That's it. And you don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? I never like to say bad about a boxer, but yeah, I was there at that fight, and from the outside looking in, it didn't look much It just looked like he was getting hard time for a bit, but he was doing well before that as well. It was a close fight.
I mean, Spencer's an incredible fighter as well.
Yeah,
so.
and he's one of them guys that is deceiving. When you watch him, his punches don't look amazingly hard, but like he just wears you down. Like his body shots and that, and the way he throws his shots, he always seems to finish with a body shot in the end, and he just looks like strong, like a physical presence. And I think him and Crawford would be a mad fight.
I still want to see him and Khan.
Me too. I think
Brook
everyone
and
does.
Khan.
Yeah. That needs to happen.
To be honest, I'd love to see that fight, and I've always said Khan. For me.
Really?
I don't know. Like obviously Sheffield's closer and that, but I do like Khan. I do like Khan. I think he's. I think a lot of people underrated him. He's got a dodgy chin, but at that level, like if you get hit by most of them guys, look at the Madonna fight. How did he stay up in that? Do you know what I mean? True. And then I just feel like the way he pings you in them early rounds. I don't know how Brook's going to deal with it. If Brook can get through them early rounds, then it could be interesting. But Khan's rapid, isn't he?
Rapid.
He's like.
Another fight that's just been announced, well, not just been announced, but I think it might even be happening soon, is the Tyson versus Jones fight.
Oh, yeah. Was it meant to be the 14th of November, that? Or is it still the 14th of November? It's soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a mad one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't.
Tyson looks scary. In that,
yeah, he does.
He's absolutely shredded.
I can't work it out, to be honest, because when I seen Roy Jones as well,
I've seen Jones on the paddles and he's moving good.
Yeah, he just. I don't know. I hope no one gets hurt. That's all I hope. But I think it's going to be a good fight. Doing 8-2s, I think. I think they're wearing bigger gloves.
Right.
But I still won't want to be hit by Tyson in them bigger gloves. Do you know what I mean? He's still going to have his power. The thing is, they're both still going to have the power, but are they going to have the punch resistance? Do you know what I mean? And the reflexes. So it could be risky. Do you know what I mean? But
I know Tyson's had that stem cell. He's had that like.
He's getting. It's meant to be the next big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
He looks the part. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's obviously taking it very seriously as well, and they both are. But Tyson just looks a bit more serious than Roy Jones at the minute, and like he keeps telling everyone it's not an exhibition and he's coming to fight and this and that. But Roy Jones is worrying about whether he should have signed them papers or not. Do you know what I mean?
So out of all the fighters you've got in your arm tattooed, who would be your favourite? Do you think your favourite boxer?
All for different reasons, but I love Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard probably, stylistic wise. Ali was just, every time I watch something on him, just after watching a speech or him boxing or whatever and him talking in the ring, you get motivated straight after. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of them guys that just, even now, like he's not here, he's still motivating everyone and can put him on. I mean, have you seen that thing I am Ali on Sky?
Yeah.
Oh no, what's my name? It's called or something like that. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a top professional. A lot of stuff he does.
Yeah, and like the stuff he did for like just America,
civil rights and stuff.
Yeah, unbelievable. Mate. Going to prison and stuff like that, and some of the fights he come back from and won again, you never expected it. Do you know what I mean? Even when he was past his best, he still managed to find a way. You're like, and when he beat Foreman, that was mad. Like, it's incredible. But because boxing wise, when you look, all the boxing experts, when you break down his actual technique, is not like a traditional boxer.
No,
so you can like pick up faults in it, but for him it was perfect. His reflexes and reaction time was unbelievable, and the way he could ride shots and that. Yeah, he's probably the main man. I don't think anyone will entertain us like that.
How old was you when you got the tattoos on your arm?
Started when I was about 18.
Yeah,
on these
it's
ones,
mad because you were still doing kickboxing.
Yeah.
And you're getting boxing tattoos on your arm.
Yeah,
it's like, so I've heard you say in another interview that your boxing's always been one of your strongest points when you were fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
that's it. And when I was young, a lot amateur boxing, we never used to have a big club. It was only me and brothers and my cousin Fergus who was boxing, amateur boxing, so we never had enough for a home show.
Right.
So we used to go and like, the only thing we used to box in was away or in the championship. So always fought tougher guys and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Always loved the boxing side of things. Used to go every week to a show with my gum shield in my pocket. Do you know what I mean? And my bag in the car. I used to leave it in the car all the time because I used to be able to go as a spare. So you used to go get weighed in, and if someone pulled out or someone turned up, do you know what I mean? You could just go and have a fight. So it's like that was most of my fights. Do you know what I mean? And I've always loved watching it and being involved. I loved Nazim when I was growing up.
Nazim's
is something else. Just the entertainment and the showmanship and the power he had for that size of cherry was unbelievable. Do you know what I mean?
How do you find gaining sponsorships in like boxing compared to kickboxing? Do you think it's easier, or do you think it's just dependent?
A lot of my sponsors, to be honest, are from when I was kickboxing,
right?
And they've stuck with me, sort of thing. They've sort of gone up. They've sorted me out more because obviously I've needed more money in the boxing and with other stuff. Like I've got one Evolution Waste. Everything I need they pay for. A guy called Craig, he really looks after me. Do you know what I mean? And then got Kybertech, Billio. They pay me monthly, and that's just really helps. Do you know what I mean? And got GS Couriers and London Eye, get different perks for each one, but Evolution Waste and Kybertech, and I had one. They don't anymore, but with all this stuff going on, they haven't been able to pay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So business have been affected, but that was Extrudica. But Evolution Waste and Kybertech, they've been with me forever.
That's good.
And to be fair, Evolution Waste I've had since I was a kid. When I was fighting as a kid, they was sponsoring me and stuff like that as a junior. So I'm lucky really with them sort of sponsors. Do you know what I mean? They're people, local people that see what I'm doing for the town and stuff, and I think they appreciate it, and they're also good friends as well.
That's good.
So what's next for you now? Obviously you plan to continue boxing. Would you like to have another shot at the British title?
Of course, yeah. I mean, Shekan Pitters and Craig Richards are fighting next, so that would be interesting to see the outcome of that. Depending on who wins, depending on where I sort of sit, I think. Obviously, I need to get another fight under my belt. Got an injury, got sorted out, but I want to get another fight under, and then we'll see where it goes. If Craig Richards wins, I reckon I'll get another shot at it, because obviously we had a draw, and I think he'll want to put it right as well as I want to put it right. Do you know what I mean? And find a winner. So that could be my little step, but also could see where that goes. But if he's looking slim, then we can make through middle as well. So that's another option. I want to get back in the mix as soon as possible, really, and get a few wins under my belt, and hopefully next year get a fight in front of a crowd, a bigger fight. Do you know what I mean? I think I want to do it for people as well. People ain't being able to do anything at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And mental health, and that's on a down slide at the minute, I think, with people, and they can't go to the gyms, but they also can't go watch a football match, they can't go to a boxing show, they can't go to a kickboxing show. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that interaction with people, and no matter what you say, you can do all this stuff online, and that's not the same at all. Do you know what I mean? Without actually interacting like we are now, it's different speaking to you now than it would be, say, it was on a phone or on a Zoom call or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I think I can't wait for that to be back, and when it does, I think everyone's
the
adrenaline will go through the roof, and people will be going nuts. But it'd be good, that's for sure. Do you know what I mean? Security will have to be high though.
I don't think promoters will have a problem in getting fighters.
No, that's it. Yeah, and tickets will be a lot easier to sell. Do you know what I mean?
That's another thing with the boxing compared to the kickboxing. I know fighting in Glory yourself, and it's a good question. We could have asked Bailey as well. Like tickets and stuff like that. Is there a huge demand for you to sell tickets, like when you was in Glory and also now in professional boxing?
Glory, because it was always abroad, not really a huge demand. I think most of the stuff was on TV or the local fighters. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not sure what it was like for Bailey when he fought in Birmingham, but I know a lot of people come to watch, because obviously he was like the co-main event.
He's doing that off camera.
But obviously when you was fighting on like the main event and stuff like that, that's what sold the shows.
Yeah.
You had to sell tickets.
Do you find this more easier than obviously fighting on Glory and there's not as much pressure to sell
Yeah,
tickets?
definitely.
Like
Yeah, it is. That does make it easier.
Mm.
But like the boxing, you as a coming up, you're either a ticket seller or you're the away fighter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and me, I couldn't really be the away fighter. I don't think, because once you start getting a few wins, people then avoid you and stuff like that. But no, I'm lucky. I sell quite a few tickets anyway. Do you know what I mean? And well, for the Peters fight, before it got cancelled in March, I think I sold over 300, like nearly 400. Do you know what I mean? And it's gonna make some noise. And from going from that to having just 3 officials there, it's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Like the buzz before it was mad, because obviously I wasn't supposed to be fighting for the title. Like 5 weeks before I got brought in, and I was like, the buzz just in the town. Everyone was, everyone, people. You have to fight to get ticket money off. Normally they come running to your door. Do you know what I mean? Wanting tickets and that. But no, it was nice to be like that. But I've got some loyal fans, and
that's good.
They do turn up. Do you know what I mean? And make some noise. So when we fought in Nottingham, the Harvey Adden, some great nights there. The crowd goes mad. So
Anyone else you'd like to shout? I know you shout out some of your sponsors there, but anyone else you'd like to shout out before we finish?
Just the gym, Sugden's gym, my dad, and I got 2 coaches in Birmingham as well, John and Tal. And then I got a mind coach, Gary James, as well. So all them guys are all part of the team, and we're growing strong together. And I believe I've got the perfect team around me to get where I need to be. And now it's just keeping injury free, which is easier said than done, and then go from strength to strength sort of thing. So shout
I must say you've got a quality facilities here at the gym as well. I just had a look around and it's spot on, isn't it?
The gym's banging. Everyone that comes down says that, and
it's one of the tidiest gyms, I must say.
Yeah, that's it. Dad's got OCD, so I mean, if I was in charge, I'm not sure it would be this tidy. You know what I mean? But he just
loves
make sure we pick up everything. You know what I mean? And clean it and that. And it has to be at the minute as well, because we was open during COVID. Like every session, you're like mopping down and like just get hard work, but you got to do it. Do you know what I mean? And to stay open and keep people safe. But it's quality. Good gym got here.
Okay, well, thank you for having us down. Really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you again soon.